So my name's Barney Gyant. I just recently retired from the Forest Service, just after a little bit over 30 years of service. I started my career as a fisheries biologist in the southeast part of the United States. And throughout my career, I had a chance to move and work in many states and many parts and regions of the country. One question I had asked or had been asked in many cases, particularly for young people that were interested in natural resources, is how do I get started? Where do I look for jobs? Do you know of any places that I might be able to find a job in natural resources? So today what I like to do is share just a little bit of information in regards to that. So there are many positions that many either state, federal agencies, private industry, or consultants have in the field of natural resources. I've got a little list, and so I'm just going to just kind of go through these a little bit. So it is not an inclusive list. It's just a list, hopefully, to get you thinking. So if you're someone that loves trees, there are positions that are called foresters. If you love animals, there are positions called wildlife biologists. If you're interested in insects, there are positions called entomologists. Fish, like for instance, as I mentioned, I love fish. I love the fish. I began my career as a fisheries biologist. If you love weather, what about being a meteorologist? If you're someone that likes dirt and likes to play with dirt and play with, with plants in the soil, maybe something like a soil scientist is something for you. If you're someone that just loves to play in water and you're fascinated by water and the flow of water and where it goes, a hydrologist would be a really good place for you to look. If you like recreation and you like walking on trails, maybe a recreation technician is a position for you. Plants, whether grasses or weeds or trees or shrubs, if you're interested in plants, maybe a botanist is the thing for you. If you like the ocean, maybe an oceanographer may be a place for you to start. And, if you're particularly in California with all the fires, you could be a firefighter or you may be a fire ecologist. So that's just a short list of some of the positions that are involved and deal with natural resources. So as you think about climate change and the awareness that we have today, many people want to be able to make a difference in the environment. And these positions would be great positions to be able to do that. So, and then you think, well, where do I start or where do I look for these different jobs? And so here's just a small list. These are mostly federal agencies that have these specialists. They might not have the entire list, but in most cases, they do have environmental scientists on their staffs. Like I mentioned, I retired from the Forest Service, so the United States Forest Service, the Bureau of Land Management, Bureau of Indian Affairs, Bureau of Reclamation, Natural Resource Conservation Service, the National Park Service, the Environmental Protection Agency, the National Marine Fisheries Service, United States Fish and Wildlife Service, the California Department of Fish and Wildlife, CAL FIRE. That's just a small list of many of the federal agencies and some of the state agencies that have natural resource specialists. Nearly every state has these, whether it's and depends on how the state is, depends on how they might have it named. It could be Resources Commission, it could be Fish and Wildlife. It just depends. But nearly every state has an equivalent to many of the federal agencies that I mentioned. So if you love being outside, you like being in the environment, you really want to make a change and be able to participate in this world of climate change, in that world of natural resources, these are some of the positions and just some of the places that you might be able to go on their website and see the different positions that are available. Something else that I would also advise, the Office of Personnel Management, called OPM, is another great place for the federal jobs. You can go to www.opm.gov, and that will have all the different positions, where they're located, what their salaries are, and a brief position description of nearly all the federal agencies in the country. It's just a great place to start. If you love being outside, like me, I love to fish. Started my career as a fisheries biologist, wouldn't trade it for the world.